Hola, I'm Nancy. I'm a student from CU Denver. I want to be a teacher. I am also Mexican American. And this is Draw My Life Teacher Edition. I always wanted to be a teacher since I was a little girl. In my culture, the oldest child helps the parents at home while they work. I was in charge of helping my parents with my little brother. Since my parents were always working, my teachers would always look after me. They communicated as much to my parents and gave me a lot of one-on-one time. They were like my guardian angels. They were my escape to my responsibilities. I wanted to be a teacher because my teachers were always there to advocate for their students. My teachers were also my role models. That is why I wanted to be a teacher. I stayed in education because of my experience. When I was a junior, reality hit me. I was undocumented, which meant I could not get a career because I was not allowed to go to college unless my parents paid out of pocket. Education was so important to me because I have a strong belief that education is able to open doors. In school, I started feeling like an outsider. I could not participate in a lot of activities like joining the Navy because I was not born in the U.S. I lost hope that I could never get a career. I couldn't talk to my friends because no one understood what I was going through. Then Obama did something amazing. In 2012, a policy was passed that was able to help undocumented students go to college. I was finally able to acquire a 9-digit social security number. I was protected. But my parents were not protected. My parents could not get any help from the government. This was not an issue at first. Then my mom got sick. Hospitals that helped undocumented families could not help my mom because they were full. I lost hope in America once more. I was mad. I was mad because I felt hopeless. How was it that this country that raised me, that taught me to be a good citizen, a country I was willing to serve, just said no to my family? When I was a senior, I did not register. I did not show up on the first day of school, or the second day. I did not show up to school until the end of September. Only because my mom found out I had dropped out. I hated being in this country, but I did not belong to Mexico either. In November, I started getting packets in the mail from colleges. I did not want to apply until my mom made me. In March, I opened up to my ROTC instructors about what I was going through. They were worried because I never went to class. I told them that I had applied to some colleges. They called each of the colleges to see if I got accepted. I did. They were jumping up and down with me. We decided I was going to go to UC Denver to be close to home. My teachers knew how much I valued my family, so this was the best option. That is something I want to implement to my students. I want to implement culture into their education. My parents promised me that they would pay for my education as long as I tried my hardest in school. When August came around, and I came home from my first week of school, I took a deep breath because I was able to say to the system that I deserved an education. Now I want my students to know that anything is possible. I am so blessed to attend college. I have learned so much. Some days are harder and some days are hard and other days are harder. But I am even closer to getting my degree. From my experiences and what I have learned from my courses, I will use this to become the best possible teacher for my students. I want them to get the same support my teachers gave me. I will also be able to relate to them. I used to think I could not relate to the minority because I was never discriminated. Taking courses like EDFN 1000, 3000, and 4010 in college made me realize that I was a minority. I could really relate to my students now because I went through the feeling of not being represented. I felt that empathy that will empower me to advocate for my students. I am already advocating for myself, talking about my personal experience. Hopefully this brings awareness to the government so they can see that minorities are not bad. Therefore, we should not be denied the opportunities others are receiving. Because of my experience, I have different views than others. My experiences have shaped my knowledge. Just like my students will have their own experiences. Knowledge is obtained by the children, not imposed by adults. Meaning, the students will already walk into the classroom on the first day with their own experiences. At the end of the year, they will leave with something positive because I know they will never forget that feeling. I may not completely know what they are going through because our experiences are so different, but I am not trying to be a hero. I just want to give them the best of me and give them the equality they deserve. That is why, from my experiences and from my knowledge now, I still want to be in the field of education. Not only do I value education, I value the individuals. I gain skills not only from the Common Core standards, but on how to treat my students. Thanks to my parents, teachers, and professors, I am able to pass on my knowledge onto the students. I was able to see myself from a larger scale as a minority, then see myself as an individual, as Nancy, a future educator who happens to be part of the minority.